Welcome to the video on in-use stability studies in pharmaceuticals. I have made some videos and these are available on the channel for the in-use stability. Still, I am making the videos as I am getting new information and I wanted to share this information with the viewers. Consider you have been prescribed the medicine like syrup or suspension that you are carrying to the home and you are using it or you are using it for the treatment. You are taking the dose 2 times a day. You are taking the bottle to the home and you are opening it, and then you are taking the dose out of that bottle. Let's say that bottle is required to be used for 7 days, for 15 days or 1 month. Now the medicine is required to be safe, effective and stable during this period also. Not only the packed condition stability is required, but the in-use stability is also required. If that medicine get degraded during this in-use period because you have opened the bottle, so it is not required or it is not recommended that after opening the bottle the drug is getting degraded. It is not safe to use the degraded medicine. That's why the in-use stability study is performed, because once the medicine is opened, whether it is a bottle of the tablets, capsules or liquid, whether it is a powder for reconstitution, once it is opened or reconstituted, diluted, in that stage also the formulation is required to be stable. So this study is based on the in-use stability study for the pharmaceuticals. In-use stability study is performed for the multi-dose packed formulations like tablets kept in the bottle or supplied in the bottle, capsules supplied in the bottle, oral liquids supplied in the bottles, then injectables also, and powder for the reconstitution also, powder for making the oral solutions, suspensions. All these are required to be studied for the in-use stability study. In-use stability means ensuring the drug safety after opening the container. Understanding the stability after the product is opened, reconstituted or diluted. Sometimes doctor can prescribe you or physician can prescribe you or give you the medicine which is in the powder form, and it is required to be reconstituted with water, reconstituted with diluent given along with the formulation, or it is required to be diluted with some diluents as indicated. For all those, the in-use stability study is required to be done. In-use stability study evaluates how long the drug product remains safe, effective, and within the quality specifications after its container is opened or reconstituted. It ensures chemical, physical, microbiological, and the functional integrity during the actual use by the patient. Why in-use stability is important and why it matters? So once the product container is opened, it get exposed to the air, light, moisture, and the handling by the patient. It may undergo contamination. For example, if you are using a eye drop, ear drop, that time also it is a multi-dose container and it is required to be used as per the indications on a daily basis by the patient. In-use stability study is required and help to protect the patient safety, define the in-use or discard after period, support the accurate labeling and storage guidance, maintain the product potency and sterility, prevent degradation or microbial growth. So for all these things, the in-use stability study is required. Products requiring in-use stability like injectables, ophthalmic formulations, topical creams and gels, oral reconstituted suspensions, biological products, multi-dose container products. If tablets are packed in the bottles, capsules are packed in the bottles, the in-use stability study is required to be performed. Study objectives: define and determine how long the product remains stable after opening or preparation. For example, you have reconstituted the powder for oral suspension and you are using it. So the dosing is for up to, for example, 7 days or 15 days. So during that period, the product should be stable in the reconstituted form. Then the study objective is to evaluate the degradation, physical change or microbial contamination. Define appropriate storage conditions like room temperature or refrigeration. Justify the beyond use date on the product label. For example, if you are using the formulation for, let's say, 14 days, so don't use after the 14 days because the in-use stability period is 14 days for the product. So it will give you idea about the beyond use date, or you should not use beyond that date. If the formulation is stored at room temperature when it is in the pack condition, but after reconstitution, the product is required to be stored at 2 to 8 degree, or we need to refrigerate it. So we can make the product safe and free from the defects. So this is the in-use stability requirements. Then what are the essentials of the in-use stability study design? So conduct the near end of the shelf life to estimate worst case conditions. Simulate real world use. Prepared prepare the protocol so that you can do the stability study in a defined way. Simulate real world use like repeated withdrawals, exposure to ambient conditions. For example, if the indication is 2 times a day, then you should open the container 2 times a day, take the dose, and once again you close it. Include 2 or more batches, preferably one near the expiry. So you can select the batch which is near to expiry, that will be your worst case batch, and one batch which is manufactured recently. So 2 batches you can use. Use validated stability indicating analytical methods like other stability studies. So now we'll see the key parameters for testing. Physical, chemical and microbiological parameters are required to be tested. Physical parameters like color, clarity, viscosity, particulate matter. Chemical like assay, impurities, pH, preservative content. Microbial like sterility, total viable count. And the purpose for these testings are to detect the visible changes, confirm the potency and purity, then ensure the product remains free from the contamination. Analytical techniques for in-use stability studies. There are different analytical techniques can be used like HPLC, UV FTIR, particle size, light obscursion, microbial assays, pH, osmolarity, viscosity. So depending on to the quality parameters, you can use the analytical techniques. Now coming to the factors affecting in-use stability. So diluent compatibility has a great impact. Diluent like water or saline or some specific diluents. Storage temperature, light exposure, repeated oil punctures, container closure system, patient or healthcare handling during the preparation and use of the medicine. Now coming to the regulatory point for the in-use stability study. FDA and EMA require the in-use stability data for the marketed products. ICH guidelines provide you the understanding for the in-use stability study, including the studies for the reconstituted products. EMA guidance on in-use stability testing provide the practical use simulation and clear labeling. Now, after the study, you will have the labeling and beyond use date. So label must clearly specify in use shelf life, like use within 14 days after reconstitution, storage condition, store refrigerated at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, provide space for user to record the date opened or date reconstituted. This is the labeling instruction. If use immediately is recommended, support data must justify it. If the formulation is labeled with use immediately after opening, the data is required. In-use stability studies are essential for the formulations which are packed in multi-dose containers or which are required to be reconstituted and diluted, because protecting patients is important after opening or preparation of the medicine. The formulations are required to be safe and effective and meet the quality parameters. For ensuring the consistent potency, sterility, supporting scientifically justified labeling, maintaining trust in the product quality, and meeting the regulatory criteria. So this is regarding the in-use stability study. Thank you for watching the video.